Welcome back to Celeb Reel, where we break down the stories your favorite blogs are too scared to touch. If you love deep dives, real receipts, and the messy truth behind Hollywood's biggest names, you're in the right place. Now buckle up, because today's story, it's one of the craziest we've covered all year. So let's get into it. Before we start, subscribe, like, and stay tuned. Big story ahead. I would not want to be Jay-Z right now, because 50 Cent just went all the way off on him after rumors dropped that Jay allegedly tried to put Nicki Minaj under a conservatorship. Yeah, you heard that right. According to multiple insiders, Roc Nation supposedly had a whole plan lined up. Doctors, evaluations, and mental health labels ready to slap on Nicki so they could take control of her career, money, and decisions.
Like them, all of them, to acknowledge him, even if they win an award, acknowledge him because he gave you the stomping ground.
Mm-hmm. Most people don't know Nicki Minaj came out of that camp. French Montana came out of that
all
camp.
of
Most
them.
people don't know half those people. We know, but most people don't know that.
Migos, Thug.
Like most people
Because they don't say.
That's not just shady. That's next level sinister if it turns out to be true. But it gets even crazier. Word on the street is that 50 Cent found out early and secretly warned Nicki before the whole thing went public. He allegedly told her straight up what was being planned behind the scenes. Imagine thinking people were just trying to replace you with new female rappers.
Not something that is like a conspiracy theory. This shit actually happens. But if they're able to separate Nicki and Kenny, that makes Nicki vulnerable because your husband is your power of attorney. Your husband is your signator on all of your accounts in the event anything goes wrong. Michael wasn't married. Britney Spears was married, but of course they control all of that. And so the mere fact that all these narratives are out about Kenny stealing this to buy chains and buy that, that's not what it is. It's like, you know, they got doctors that are giving out these diagnoses saying that she's schizophrenic and bipolar and all of this stuff. And then Kenny's now here. You know, she trusts Kenny. Of course, they've known each other since they were kids. Their families know each other. And so Kenny is just in the way. And so what do? You create narratives to try to separate, because if you separate, then you can divide and conquer. And so that's what it's about. You know, she's going into her latter years and, you know, there's a lot of money on the line and she's worth a lot, but Kenny is in the way.
Only to find out the real goal might have been to remove you from the game completely. The drama started boiling after Nicki clashed with Charlemagne and Gucci Mane's wife, Keisha Kaur, over some slick comments made during her Breakfast Club interview. The moment blew up instantly. Millions of views, thousands of comments, pure chaos. Honestly, Charlemagne, Kia, and the whole Breakfast Club squad should have kept Nicki's name far out of that conversation. Because if they didn't, well, this story might have never exploded the way it did. We probably wouldn't have found out anything about these wild claims against Roc Nation if Nicki hadn't snapped back instantly.
And so, yeah, I mean, look at what they're doing to Wendy Williams. Had Wendy would have still been with Kelvin, they wouldn't have been able to put her under a conservatorship because she has a husband. So, you know, and like I said, there was only one that was accused of stealing. We're gonna leave it at that. Okay?
And all those fraudulent charges on her American Express card. Well, now all these old tweets from Cardi B are coming up. And by old tweets, I mean tweets from 2 weeks ago. But when she was beefing with Nicki on Twitter and they were talking about each other's kids, this one tweet kind of foreshadowed what's happening right now. So let's take a look. Quiet as kept, the truth is you've been diagnosed with schizophrenia and bipolar for almost 9 years, and you also on heavy drugs.
The second the drama started brewing, she jumped on X and lit the whole timeline on fire. She went straight for Keisha Kaur, saying Keisha's been trying to be her for years and is only around to keep Gucci sedated. Then she turned her attention to Charlemagne, calling him Jay-Z's friend and business associate, using iHeartRadio to push disgusting agendas against innocent families. Nicki wasn't holding back. Then she dropped the bomb. He was around Wendy before her life went downhill. The buck stops here, baby. Bookmark this tweet. Y'all don't understand who I really am. Bring it. Let's play. LAPD, where's the evidence of my home being swatted with a toddler inside? 4 times drawn. That post had everyone's jaw on the floor. It was the first time ever Nicki brought up Wendy Williams in one of her rants.
Perks, and Xanax. You don't listen to nobody around you. The only person that have the power is Kenneth Petty, but you know what happens with that Amex when you sedated. This is Cardi implying that Kenny, Nicki Minaj's husband, is the one running up her credit card bills. And because my timeline is so messy, this tweet came up right after that one. Kenneth Petty sneaking back in after crushing up a third Benadryl in her tacos, and it's Tom with a Hello Kitty Visa credit card just sneaking back in. Yeah, that was kind of funny. But again, people are saying that it was her ex-stylist who was using her credit card.
And the way she said it, people instantly started thinking she was hinting that Charlemagne was placed in Wendy's life on purpose. Like he was part of some bigger plan cooked up by powerful people to break her down from the inside. That's a crazy accusation on its own. Especially since Nicki and Wendy weren't even cool back when Wendy was doing her show. So for Nicki to suddenly defend Wendy, fans immediately assumed she knows something the public doesn't. Then, boom, things escalated again. Tasha K slid into the conversation with her own receipts, claiming the real reason Nicki mentioned Wendy is because Roc Nation is allegedly planning to do the exact same thing to Nicki. Doctors on payroll, fake mental health diagnoses, all to gain full control of her career. Just like how Wendy spiraled before everything fell apart. The internet exploded. This story was no longer just gossip. It was turning into a full-on war. And Tasha K, she wasn't done. Not even close. She dropped the next bomb. According to her, the only reason Roc Nation hasn't already forced a conservatorship on Nicki is because she's married. Yep, Tasha claimed that Nicki's husband, Kenneth Petty, is the one thing standing in their way. Because legally, if Nicki were ever placed under a conservatorship, Kenneth would automatically be the person in charge of her finances. Not a court-appointed stranger. Not a Roc Nation puppet. And when you think about it, it actually makes sense. Every major celebrity who ended up in one of those situations, Britney, Amanda, Wendy, all single when it happened. But that's when things got real messy. Tasha said Roc Nation allegedly cooked up a new plan. Smear Kenneth Petty. The goal? Paint him as irresponsible, unstable, maybe even dangerous. Basically, convince the world and a judge that he's unfit to manage Nicki's money. And honestly, with Kenneth's legal record, spinning that narrative wouldn't be hard for people who know how to manipulate headlines. It's the kind of setup you'd expect in a Netflix thriller. And then Tasha snapped again, saying, "Y'all better stop twisting my words. Nicki Minaj doesn't have schizophrenia. Let's be real. Everybody got some mood swings." She wasn't backing down. Tasha even compared Nicki to other celebs who were quietly handled by the industry. The ones who suddenly had their freedom restricted, their bank accounts frozen, or their teams replaced overnight. Then she said the line that shook the room. Meanwhile, Wendy Williams is sitting in a luxury hospital suite, while her team spends her money. Michael Jackson is gone. Britney had to disappear just to feel safe after everything she went through. This is turning into one of the craziest celebrity conspiracies of the year. And Tasha, she wasn't done stirring the flames. She said, "What part don't y'all understand? This is a full-blown industry takedown designed to make Nicki look like she can't manage her own money." According to her, this isn't about drama. It's a systemic move, and Kenneth Petty is the obstacle standing in the way. And here's where things get even more suspicious. Tasha claims everything started heating up after Nicki made those viral posts about the COVID vaccine. Ever since then, the chaos around her has been non-stop. Scandals, leaks, hit pieces, sources, you name it. But there's more. Remember when Nicki went online saying someone close to her was stealing her money? The internet instantly pointed fingers at Kenneth. But Tasha K jumped in with a completely different version of the story. She said the real people behind the mess were Nicki's former assistant, Katsia, and her former friend Ra Ali. And that's when things turned wild. Word on the street is Katsia, after leaving Nicki's team, allegedly started babysitting for Ra Ali and something else. People online claim Ra swings both ways, and that Katsia was allegedly her side piece. Then comes the bombshell. Tasha claimed Katsia gave Ra access to Nicki's Apple ID, her logins, everything. And right after that, private credit card info started getting pulled. Chaos erupted instantly. It felt like betrayal from the inside. Like people close to Nicki were feeding the system that wanted to break her. Nicki snapped right back. She hopped on X and posted wild, AI-generated videos of Jay-Z sneaking around Beyoncé's closet with the caption, "I am your karma." Fans lost their minds. Everyone was decoding it, dissecting it, replaying it. Her name stayed trending for hours. Then the real twist dropped. Rumors started flying that the person who warned Nicki about Roc Nation's alleged conservatorship plan wasn't a random insider. It was 50 Cent. And if you know 50, he lives for smoke, especially when Jay-Z is involved. For months, 50 has been on Jay's neck, calling out shady industry moves and hinting that some powerful people were getting too comfortable working with the wrong folks. And when those lawsuits started shaking the whole music business, 50 didn't hold back at all. He jumped online and dragged a certain powerful mogul straight through the dirt, right after a lightning-fast lawsuit settlement hit the news. Within hours, the internet exploded, and 50 was already stirring the pot even harder. He posted, "He paid that money real quick. Should have done that before the shark smelled blood." And here they come in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Every woman he put his hands on. That one post sent the entire timeline spinning. But 50 didn't stop there, not even close. He dropped the biggest bomb yet. He announced he was producing a major documentary exposing what's really been happening behind the scenes. Not just the mogul, not just the accusations, but every single person who allegedly helped cover it all up. He said the project would reveal everything the industry has been hiding. Fans knew instantly. This wasn't just content. This was about to be detonation-level entertainment history. Then 50 reposted an article confirming the doc was officially in development and dropped the caption, "I thought the mogul was a billionaire music boss. If he's smart, he'll file for bankruptcy now. Anyone with real money knows why I'm saying this. I'm the best producer for the job. Here come the receipts." That one post had the entire industry glued to his page like they were watching the season finale of a drama series. And of course, in true 50 Cent fashion, he sprinkled extra shade. He posted a meme of Jay-Z's face on a milk carton labeled "Missing" with, "Anybody seen Jay? LOL. The mogul said the man ain't answering his phone." Then he followed up with a pic of Jay waving from a private jet. Here's Jay-Z, last seen waving at the mogul's jet. LOL. People were already cackling, but 50 wasn't done spinning the block. Months later, he dropped an unflattering close-up photo of Jay with the caption, "Jay's hibernation." Fans were dying laughing, but behind the jokes, people were whispering, Or was this just playful trolling? Or was 50 sending a real message? Either way, he had the entire industry glued to his page. And he did not let up. He posted, "He ain't coming outside till this mess blows over. No brunch, no lunch, no dinner. LOL, I'm all you got. I'm outside." That line had the internet screaming because everyone knew exactly who he was talking about. The shade wasn't subtle. It wasn't quiet. It was 50 level loud, and fans ate it up. And here's where things take a crazy turn. While 50 was working on his upcoming documentary, word is he actually reached out to several people close to Jay-Z, and allegedly, some of them agreed to appear in the documentary. Yeah, people from Jay-Z's own circle might be speaking on camera. According to the whispers, they told 50 all about Roc Nation's alleged plan to take Nicki Minaj down behind the scenes. Now, none of this is confirmed. It's still rumor territory. But if even half of it is true, this is the biggest music industry story in a decade. Tasha K says Nicki absolutely believes it's real. And when you look at how everything's been unfolding, you can see why people are connecting the dots. Then things went fully off the rails when the internet began talking about Desiree allegedly putting her own daughter in a mental facility with no clear explanation. That rumor alone sent the conspiracy talk into overdrive. And meanwhile, Jay-Z has quietly been named in multiple lawsuits lately, but nobody in the industry is addressing it. And now everyone's wondering, what exactly is happening behind the scenes? But now I want to hear from you. Do you think 50 Cent is just trolling like usual, or is he really sitting on explosive receipts? Do you believe Roc Nation is actually trying to take down Nicki Minaj, or is this whole thing just internet hype spiraling out of control? And the biggest question, is Jay-Z quiet because he's innocent, or because the truth is getting a little too close for comfort? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm reading every one. And before you go, make sure you like, share, and subscribe for more wild celebrity stories. Trust me, the next video is about to be even crazier. See you in the next one.